more about what went down during what some are calling the worst fiasco in Oscar history.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
Photos show Chris Rock walking to the edge of the stage to speak to the Smiths, who are seen holding hands. That's Denzel Washington trying to mediate, standing between the two men. Behind the scenes, according to one report, there were serious discussions about removing Smith from the theater.
Hello everyone, this is Kendrick Diggs here, right here on Val. We have breaking news to report that Academy Award winner of King Richard, Will Smith, has been banned from the Oscars for 10 years. Right now, Will Smith has been banned from the Oscars, but first things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag #ViralHereOnConnect, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here as we talk about newly minted Academy Award winner Will Smith, who just won Best Actor for his portrayal of Richard Williams in King Richard, the Biotop movie, has been banned from the Academy Awards by the Academy of Motion Arts and Pictures and Sciences after Will Smith was trying to defend his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, after Chris Rock made a joke about his wife's hair, about her hair loss. Ooh, that's a lot. But like I said, this whole thing, we just getting word right now that the Academy Awards has banned Will Smith from the Oscars for 10 years for slapping Chris Rock on stage at the previous award show. This most recently, these 2 weeks ago. Like I said, we saw the incident. As you see right here, Will Smith was trying to defend his wife's honor, and at first, when Chris Rock made the joke, he said reference to this.
It took just 10 seconds for Will Smith to walk on stage. But tonight, that slap and the scene afterwards earning him a 10-year ban from the Academy. A statement from the Academy of Motion Pictures Board of Governors said Smith shall not be permitted to attend any Academy events or programs, including the Academy Awards.
What people need to realize, this still doesn't preclude him from being nominated or winning an Academy Award over the next 10 years. What it does preclude him from doing is attending any Academy events.
Almost immediately afterwards, Smith putting out a statement saying, "I accept and respect the Academy's decision." Last week, ahead of the board's meeting, Smith resigned from the Academy. The Academy also saluting Chris Rock with that now famous recovery.
That was greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
The board saying it was deeply grateful to Rock for maintaining his composure under extraordinary circumstances. But the Academy also taking itself to task for failing to adequately address the situation in the room. Just minutes after that slap, Smith returned to the stage, this time to receive his Oscar and address the crowd at the theater and the many millions watching from home. For this, we are sorry, the Academy said in a statement. This was an opportunity for us to set an example for our guests, viewers, and our Academy family around the world, and we fell short, unprepared for the unprecedented.
All right, we saw that Chris Rock got slapped for no apparent reason by Will Smith by defending Will Smith's wife's honor, and now Will Smith won the Academy Award. They said he was supposed to be escorted out the building. He refused. Now we're getting word right now that Will Smith has been banned from the Academy Awards for 10 years. Ooh, 10 years. We know that Will Smith did a apology, him and his wife Jada Pinkett, and then we just found out Chris Rock did a little subliminal thing about it, but he has hired a law firm. We don't know what that's heading towards. Is Chris Rock going to sue Will Smith for slapping him at the Academy Awards? Only time will tell on that one. Like I said, right now, this is just breaking news. Right now, let's hear what you people had to say out there about Will Smith being banned from the Academy Awards after slapping Chris Rock on stage with this.
For slapping Chris Rock on stage. And the board released a statement that reads, "The board has decided for a period of 10 years, Mr. Smith shall not be permitted to attend any Academy events or programs in person or virtually. We also hope this can be a time of healing and restoration for all involved and impacted. Fellas, what do you think about this update? Fair or not?
It's definitely fair. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of where you are on if he should have did it or if he not should have did it, that's outside of that. You can't walk on the stage on a live televised program and assault somebody. So I definitely think it's fair. It just creates an interesting dynamic for me, Claudia, because what happens, let's just say next Oscar season, if he does a movie that gets nominated for an Oscar. I'm sure Al's going to have all the details. Is he eligible to receive an Oscar? Like how is that going to work?
I heard he can send someone to take his place, but he just can't accept it. Al, what do you know about this? Anything?
Well, the Academy is being tight-lipped about whether he can be nominated, but people close to the Academy and members of that board says that he actually can still be nominated and he can still win. He just can't attend the award, which I'm pretty excited about that because he's doing that movie Emancipation about that slave that went north with Antoine Fuqua, which is $100 million film that Apple supported. So this is a good thing to know that he will still be able to be nominated. I think the unfortunate thing here is that it is at this cost.
It's more embarrassing that he's like disciplined to not be able to go. Because honestly, what are the odds that he get to anyways? Like they don't really give him away to our community like that as much, do they?
And to your point, Claudia, they gonna punish him silently anyway. Even if his movie get nominated, they ain't gonna give it to him. They're not gonna give it to him because it's still. I mean, at the very end of the day, if I got the Oscar, but I was able to bypass him to sit through that boring ass 4-hour program, it's a win. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna give him a win.
I'd like to know what the repercussions were to Harvey and to the other sex offenders that have had Oscars. I don't believe anyone had them taken away, or I don't think anyone's had them taken away, but any of the repercussions to other more offensive offenders. Mm-hmm. But not to make excuses, because that's slap, that's still assault. And there's no.
I mean, and again, to Claudia, I kind of think that's a false equivalency because although what Weinstein was doing was deplorable, that was in his private life. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't on the stage and up in them people building.
In front of
I agree. It was assault during a live show in front of millions of people.
All right.
After slapping Chris Rock live on air at the 2022 Academy Awards. The decision was made following a meeting held by the Academy Board of Governors on Friday. In an open letter, the president and CEO of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences writes, quote, "The 94th Oscars were meant to be a celebration of the many individuals in our community who did incredible work this past year. However, those moments were overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior we saw Mr. Smith exhibit on stage." The letter goes on to apologize for not adequately addressing the situation in the room, adding that they fell short and were unprepared for the unprecedented. Nearly a week following the incident, Will resigned from the Academy. And on Friday, the Board of Governors decided that the Oscar winner won't be allowed to attend any Academy events for the next 10 years. The 53-year-old King Richard star responded to the ruling in a statement to ET, saying, quote, "I accept and respect the Academy's decision." As for Chris, the Academy thanked the comedian for maintaining his composure under extraordinary circumstances before thanking the hosts, Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes, for their poise and grace.
Everybody was just kind of floored for the whole thing. And and I was just thinking about what am I gonna do?
During a stop by Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen earlier this week, Amy revealed how she felt about Will receiving a standing ovation for his Best Actor win just minutes after the shocking slap.
I was backstage and I knew I had to go out. I was kind of the only host that was going out solo after that, so it really felt like the Situation Room.
Yes.
You know, like a comedy. Like we were all just like watching the monitor, and we're like, and then he won, and we're all like everybody was just kind of floored.
The Trainwreck star previously responded to the slap heard round the globe, writing on Instagram that she was triggered and traumatized, and she was still in shock and stunned and sad, before praising Chris for handling the situation like a pro. And all that echoes what Wanda told Ellen DeGeneres last week.
I just felt so awful for my friend, you know, Chris, and it was sickening. It was absolutely. I physically felt ill, and I'm still a little traumatized by it.
Cool back here. You want?
Tyron Turner talked about Jada Pinkett out of all people. He said he picked other dollars to get the star. Like, how did you get this star? You know, it costs about $55,000 to get the star. Who nominated you? We got answers. It's people like Lorenz Tate that don't even have a star, no Oscar, none of that. We trying to figure out what is going on. Speaking of Lorenz Tate, one of his best movies ever, Menace to Society, and actor Tyron Turner talked about Jada Pinkett out of all people. He said he picked her to be his girlfriend for the movie.
Working with Jada was incredible. I picked her to be my girlfriend in the movie. I picked her. Yep. A lot of people don't know. It was who came in? Jasmine Guy. Remember the girl that was on House Party, the black girl that played in Baby Boy, Tyree's mom. She came to be my girlfriend.
Oh, I thought I saw something flying too. Well, there you have Ashanti has her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They just giving out stars now. I'm just here to report the news. I don't want no smoke with nobody. DJ Khaled's supposed to get his on Monday. But yeah, in the meantime, Will Smith has officially been banned from the Academy for the next 2 years. He can't attend the Oscars. He can't attend none of their programs until 2032. Hopefully him and his wife stay home.
Explains not only the Oscars slap, but also their toxic relationship. Back in 2020, without anyone's consent, we all learned about the word entanglement. And from there, we also learned way too much about Will and Jada's relationship. Jada Pinkett Smith confirmed that she was romantically involved with singer August Alsina during an episode of her Facebook watch show called Red Table Talk. She spoke openly about this while sitting across from her husband, Will Smith.
Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me if you could film.
The thing that really baffled people was that she did this with her son's friend. Jaden is the one that introduced August to the house, and then he went and got himself entangled with his friend's mom. During the one-on-one interview with Will, Jada explained that she and August had become good friends, but I guess he missed the memo on keeping things hush-hush. August then came out and claimed that he and Jada had started a relationship while she was married, and Will had given him permission, which is completely false and only blew this whole thing up in the press even more. The couple also revealed in their conversation that they had briefly separated when Jada began seeing August, but with that behind them, they were apparently now committed to one another. Fast forward to 2022, and the pair seemed to be doing much better. They even attended the Oscars together. But alas, it was perhaps far too early for them to be making public appearances together. We posted this video on our Instagram page, and one person believes that Will was actually acting in that earlier clip, but it really does seem like he is annoyed by Jada pestering him to record this video. But I would be remiss if I didn't offer up that perspective, so you at least can make up your own mind about this whole situation. In the comment section, they said, "Bro, he's being sarcastic. Since when he first started to get into social media and everyone was making a big deal about his tweets and videos, he's saying to not film him to playfully act like he's big time now or whatever. They're sarcastically playing with each other." Now, the connection to the Oscar slap might be one of the biggest reaches out there, but let's break it down to see if we can link this video to that incident. If that video is genuine and not acting, then it shows that Jada has a lot of control over Will. But that's not enough to explain why Will would just get up to defend her so quickly. So let's dive in a little deeper. paper. During an episode of Red Table Talk, first broadcasted on October 29, 2018, Will opened up to his family about what he deemed to be the lowest point of his life, which just so happened to coincide with Jada's 40th birthday. He had spent 3 years putting together a documentary for her to play at her birthday party. In the doc, he details her entire family history. It featured hidden tapes of her grandmother that had never been seen before, and he even tracked down a descendant of the White family who once owned Pickett Smith's ancestors. He even got Mary J. Blige to perform at her birthday party. He described himself looking at Jada like the little boy that wants mommy to say everything was wonderful, but he didn't realize she was having a really difficult emotional time. After they got back to their room with Willow there as well, Will recalled Jada telling him, "That was the most disgusting display of ego I have ever seen in my life." They then began to fight so much that a 10-year-old Willow emerged crying with her hands over her ears begging them to stop. A letter that Willow supposedly wrote as a child then also reemerged, and it was addressed to Tupac Shakur. In the letter she writes, "Dear Tupac, I know you are alive someplace. I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you please come back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love, Willow." So now let's go to the Oscars, where Chris Rock makes a joke targeted at the woman Will is so dead. He really looks at her like he's protecting his own mother, which makes it 10 times harder to leave that relationship when it's just not working. Remember, Will laughed at the G.I. Jane joke, then turned to see a displeased Jada, and then acted immediately because he assumed that's what mommy wanted him to do. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this stuff, because that's all the time we have for today. So stay classy, and I'll see you on the next one.
Plow move. 100%. And this is why. He has been pushed. And I know he feels like he's been pushed. But he sat up there and laughed. And then he looked over and was like, oh, I realized that actually that's not funny in this house. And then I feel like he said to himself, what would Tupac do? Right? Think about this, though. Didn't he even talk about that in his book, apparently, about...
He talked about also, too, the laughter comes from when he's uncomfortable and nervousness. And I think that's that Hollywood shit, too.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
But the looming specter of Tupac is over his life at all times because of the woman that he's with, right? And he had a real, I know what Pac would do right now. Pac would go slap the shit out of him. And so he gets up there and takes this slow walk, slap Chris Rock. He slaps Chris Rock in the face. Don't knock him down. Chris Rock still keep going. He comes back, he sits down, and he screams. And I'm like, so what exactly did you do here? Because you wasn't protecting your wife. She wasn't in danger. That wasn't what that was. You wanted to show us that you was a man right now. You wanted to show us that, you ain't going to tolerate that. But we done seen you tolerate too much already for us to change our minds at this point. You should have rolled up on them at the after party if it was that important. Or said something in your speech if it was that important. But I just thought he embarrassed himself.
I agree.
She's coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh my goodness.
If you could film.
Astaire, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
She don't just...
She helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another.
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house.
Please watch Astaire at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you tell?
All right, you're just having fun. Somebody steps up to you and they tell you they want to rumble. All right, now just stop for a second. Before you lose your head, get all crazy and toss your hands up, just think. The person that uses their head can always defeat the person that's just trying to use their hands. Now remember that.
Will Smith's slap across Chris Rock's face at the Oscars on stage on Sunday has been met with some strong opinions and a divided response.
And the reason they didn't go and take him out is because that would have been another 15, 20-minute explanation of why we're taking the black man out 5 seconds before they're about to decide whether he's won an Oscar or not.
Before you lose your head, get all crazy and toss your hands up, just think.
Why is it always the people who punch you in the face should tell you to stop hitting them? Kind of weird.
It was a rare instance where someone is so enormously famous and successful like Will Smith that they literally still allowed him to not just win the Academy Award, but also go up and accept it and give a speech after he assaulted a small comedian.
Yeah, they should have ejected him. They should have ejected him from the show.
100%.
Sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
A few minutes after slapping the host on stage, the guy who slapped him got a ward. He was not expelled, of course.
You can't just go smack a man in the face in front of the world and then go about business as usual.
If we want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
As you saw right there, many of you are shocked, blown away. The ruling was coming. This is unprecedented. First time ever. Will Smith being banned from the Academy Awards. So Will Smith won't be appearing at the Academy Awards for the next 10 years. He just won his award. And he'd be good to go with that. But for the next 10 years, Will Smith, many movies he makes, he will not be appearing at the Academy Awards, whether he gets nominated or not. So this ruling comes from the Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts and Sciences that Will Smith has been banned from the Oscars. Well, we'll get to the latest next in the update and the follow-up. If Will Smith or Chris Rock or Jada Pinkett Smith or the Academy Awards have anything else to say about this matter. Thank you all for watching this edition of I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you next time for another edition of